I would like to share some ideas of how science can actually contribute to this. We call it global peace offensive, which we actually came up with this term with, well, Vice President of World Academy, Donato, was actually instrumental there, and then both World and European Academy designed a vision for this peace offensive. So what do you mean by this? You know, science should be force for good, but it created nuclear weapons, chemical weapons, and it also created other, we would call it not so nice instruments like cyber warfare, biological weapons. So what can we as scientists do that we actually remedy these things that we have destroyed? So as force for good, you know, in addition to artificial intelligence, now we have the opportunities in quantum computing. You probably heard late last year, this new Google Willow has the speed of 10 to the 30. That means quintillion times faster than the best supercomputer, which means all you need to do is some algorithm that will make use of this speed. So nobody knows how to program it, but it's really fast. So you can like jump forward 200 years on the Moore law scale once you get the algorithms, and it could solve both problems of war and peace, poverty, new technologies. A lot of these problems could be solved once somebody designs an algorithm that could take use of this computation speed that is today available with quantum computers. So the second thing is, of course, biology, personalized medicine, but also personalized everything down to the cell and molecules. And then you have AI, which we have heard now. It's not only used for terrorists, but it's also imagination limited. If you can design something, you can most likely also do it if you are persistent and if you do some work. And of course, that means these humans together with AI become smarter. We should do better science. Moore's law, you all know, but quantum computer actually promises to jump 200 years in the Moore's law in the near future as soon as the algorithms are available. Then you have this speed, which, okay, it's getting faster and faster. In 1 year, computers learned how to do language, and now it's talking to us, and it's becoming almost smart. But what can we do with peace? You know, we know what we want, but this doomsday clock is now at, I don't know, 90 seconds. It was 100 seconds, now it's 90 seconds. It has never been so close to midnight. So obviously something is not right yet. And what is this that is not right is our question. So we can see this picture is actually very interesting because it shows that in the last 200 years, there has been a massive progress in democratization of world. You know, the red one is autocracies, but these blue ones are democracies. So democracies have been advancing all until about 15 years ago. But then in the last 15 years, you see the trend reversed and it's getting worse. So why is that? On one hand, technology is getting better. On the other hand, these trends are getting worse. The wars are now in Ukraine, in the Middle East, in Africa, in other places, Myanmar. So if we take a look at this graph and we ask, what can we do differently as scientists? How to stop the wars? There have been initiatives. Our friend Ivo Schlaus actually presented you this morning already his initiative. Just stop the wars now and we will define the peace afterwards. So, and this has to be like grassroots, AI included, because AI can help us ask better questions. And once you stop fighting, of course, you exchange the prisoners, hostages, and prisoners of war, accept the peace force, which will take care that nobody starts fighting again. And then, of course, protect enough that people can reconstruct. When you leave them in peace, you know, then people can do amazing things. And this second thing, which also I think Gary in the morning told you a little bit, we talk about this as global peace offensive vision, which means in addition to people who want war, you have to do peace offensive. And as you can see also worldwide, there have been some promising signs. I mean, the war in Lebanon stopped, the war in Syria ended. In the Middle East, in Israel, Gaza, we have now ceasefire. Ukraine is still not good, but there are some promising signs. So basically, peace offensive means that you do whatever it takes, mainly in education and improving the communities which are involved in the conflict. So to build a better, more peaceful culture in these communities, to do this in educational system, to do this in art, in science, and how we do it is basically our first idea is this global peace offensive. That means that whatever we do, we add this peaceful component, both in education since kindergarten up to the university level, and also in the scientific and artistic endeavors that we do, we add this peace component, you know, from those simple things like you send some cyber attack to the terrorists, or even to prevent people from becoming a terrorist, because you introduce educational programs at a young age so that people, instead of being grown up in terrorists, become useful members of society who will do something useful in AI, in quantum computing, in science, in art. So that's basically the outline of this global peace offensive. And of course, this stop all wars now is really important. Now, Lebanon stopped, Syria stopped, Gaza kind of stopped. We still have Yemen, Ukraine, Myanmar, a lot of Africa, but hopefully they will see that once they stop the war, it's getting better, and also other people will be incentivized to stop their wars. So once this is stopped, then of course we need human security for all, which is also the World Academy project. And that means not only to stop the war, like in health, you know, health is not just absence of disease, but it's an abundance of healthy energy. So here also, it's not only to stop the war, but to get abundance of peaceful civilization, which will develop sciences and arts and other human endeavors. So this is what we want. And just to say the acknowledgement, there have been a lot of people with whom we discussed this. Many of them are here present, like Eva and Gary, and many others like Donato, who is leading this peace offensive, and a lot of members of World Academy, European Academy, Club of Rome. And of course, this FWAAS project, Human Security for All, is also kind of a good stepping stone into this direction of global human vision for peace, which we would really like to take shape in the following years, because now it's more important than ever. Not only are we 90 seconds from midnight, but also there are so many technological tools that if these tools are developed for peace, then we can have prosperity for the next decades and more. And if they are not developed by people who want peace, then we can have situations which we don't like. So that's why we really actually, this is an appeal to everybody, include in what you do, where you educate, when you do science, when you do art, include the peace component to develop people around you to become more peaceful. It's just one person at a time, and we can, in this way, build a new peaceful society with human security for all and without wars. And this is basically our vision, and that was my presentation. Thank you.